Choosing the right university can be very difficult, especially if you're an international student. So, I asked 12 international students from the Caribbean who are currently studying in Canada about their experiences to help you decide if this is the right decision for you or not. And this is how it went.
My name is Tej. I'm currently studying at the University of Toronto. I'm studying computer science and I'm from Trinidad and Tobago.
Hi, my name is Mariam Khan. I'm from Trinidad. I go to University of Toronto and I study electrical and computer engineering.
Hi, my name is Suraj and I'm studying mechanical engineering at the University of Waterloo.
Hi, so I'm Justin Samru. I'm from Trinidad and Tobago and I study mechanical engineering at U of T.
My name is Selena. I'm from Trinidad. I attend McMaster University and I'm studying environmental science.
My name is Siobhan. I'm from Trinidad and I study mechanical engineering at the University of Waterloo.
Hi, my name is Risa. I'm from Trinidad and I am currently a second year undergraduate student in mechanical engineering at the University of Toronto.
Hi, my name is Israfil. I'm from Trinidad and Tobago and I'm studying stats in the University of Waterloo.
Hi, my name is Kayla Dookie and I study chemical engineering at the University of Toronto.
Hello everybody, my name is Devron. I'm from Westmoreland, Jamaica originally, and I'm currently studying life sciences at McMaster University.
Hi, my name is Rahul. I study at U of T doing math and finance. I'm from Trinidad and Tobago.
Hi, my name is Renessa Ramsing. I am from Trinidad and Tobago. I am studying at the University of Toronto in Rotman Commerce, pursuing a specialist in accounting.
Well, one thing about Canada is it's like, from what I've heard, it's a lot safer than many other places, for example, the US. And well, the US and Canada are the two closest countries that I was considering. So yeah, and then I also have some family here as well. So that was another deciding factor.
I chose Canada because of the co-op opportunities that they have for international students, which the US doesn't offer.
I chose Canada because I have some family here, as well as University of Waterloo. I've always heard about the co-op program and they came to my school back home Barbados and it just seemed like a really good program with the works and study program.
So I actually chose Canada because I did not need to write the SATs, so the entry was just easier for me. And I got accepted based on my CAPE results, so yeah.
I chose Canada because of like Waterloo specifically. I've heard that it had like a really good co-op program and engineering program in general. So that's sort of like why I chose Waterloo.
I think that Canada was a safer option than the US, as well as Canada is closer to the Caribbean, so I can easily go back home when I want to just take a runaway. And I have a lot of family here in Toronto as well, so that's why I chose Canada.
So I think, well, the biggest thing for me was freedom. Like at home, I always had to like answer to my mom and dad. And well, now that I'm here and like on my own, like I can like do whatever I want when I want. So that was liberating, for sure. And then also like being in a big city for me, like so way different from Trinidad, and I thought it was very exciting. Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
I think the biggest difference is one, you don't have the support of your family. You need to take care of yourself. You need to make sure you eat. You also don't have your parents making sure you're studying or bringing you food. So you really have to get that independence and take care of yourself.
Definitely the biggest thing between here and Barbados is the lack of beaches. Like normally back home you could go and chill on the beach easy, but here they got lakes and I'm not going in that water.
I think the biggest difference would be, firstly, the food. I think the cuisine and that change was a bit drastic. And secondly, I think transport.
I think the biggest difference for one is the weather. I mean, here has like 4 different seasons. So it has like a brutal winter in my opinion. So you really have to be able to like adapt to that, especially like coming from like constant sun throughout the year.
People are quite friendly up here and the weather is bad.
The biggest difference is definitely the weather. It's extremely cold here. But I think if you have a good coat, you'll be fine throughout the year. Well, I mean, I have no good beaches here, so that's the first big difference. And it also don't have a good doubles that I haven't tried yet. I heard they have, but I haven't tried it yet. Firstly, I think probably the lifestyle is a lot different because Trinidad is more third world, I guess, and more developing. But here is first world and everything is easy access, I would say. And public transport is one example. you would probably use the subways or TTC to get from places as well as walk. But in Trinidad, you would never catch me walking to go somewhere or use the public transportation. So I would say like probably the biggest difference is the lifestyle.
Besides the weather, I think people here are a lot more friendly than back home. I guess it depends on who you talk to, but in school here, a lot of the students are pretty nice. It's easy to navigate in Canada as opposed to back home, you know, on your phone, transportation-wise and everything.
So up here, the workload is definitely more, and I had to sacrifice, I think, some studying in order to have a social life, but in the end, I think it was worth it.
So at least in my opinion, the computer science workload is extremely heavy. So I really would like, it's something I would have to try really hard to actually manage properly. So typically, if I know there's a social event or some lime or something going on a particular day, I'd like really try hard to make sure that all my work is done in time. Like I'd schedule my work around it. But yeah, it really has been a challenge to actually balance social life and work, studying. So that's something that I still don't think like I do like as well as I should, because it's just really hard to do. But I just try my best to like schedule it and keep track of what dates are important and how to, plan everything around those dates.
Well, in first year, I really didn't know how to manage my workload and social life, so I didn't go out much. But in second year, I think I found a balance between social life and workload. As a chem eng, I have a very heavy workload. I have like 9 to 5 every day. But I think you should dedicate like at least one day to do something fun. Like on Fridays, I wouldn't study much or do work. I would find something fun to do with friends, and then work really hard on Saturday and Sunday to prepare for the week.
So for me, in Rotman Commerce, I have a lot of time in my schedule now as I'm in second year, and the workload is a lot less than probably engineering and life science students. For me, I prioritize having a work-life balance. So things that I do to achieve this balance is probably get up in the morning early and cook. So like my classes would start at 11 a.m. and I would prioritize waking up early and having like 9 a.m. chefs with Nest. That's what I call it. I also go to the gym on evenings to just de-stress. I think having this work-life balance is optimal to survive university. Otherwise, you're just going to get overwhelmed by the workload and then you're not going to have a good time.
The student body is very diverse, I would say. There's a lot of international students and a lot of different people from different backgrounds that are Canadians here as well. So you get to see so many different perspectives and from so many different cultural backgrounds.
In terms of like club specific, for us here at Waterloo, we have like the ACS, which is like the Association of Caribbean Students. So essentially we just like come together there. We have like events, meetings, and it's basically just like a place to go online, you know.
The best place to like meet people is to definitely check out the clubs. So Waterloo has a club fair every semester, at the beginning of the semester. Definitely walk around, talk to people. Again, everybody here is so friendly and nice. That's easy to just talk to them.
Yeah, it's extremely diverse, and that's one of the things that I like the most about it. So for example, in my first day, I remember just meeting, like each day I'd meet somebody from a different country. So I made a friend from Pakistan, from India, from China, from Spain, and I support Real Madrid. And he's from Madrid, and he was telling me about how he goes to the Santiago Bernabeu all the time. And I just thought that was really cool to actually meet these guys from all these different countries. So yeah, and then you definitely don't feel like an outsider at all, because everybody is from like all different parts of the world. So you feel very, like you fit in, essentially.
McMaster, I think, is a pretty diverse school. Like lots of people from different backgrounds. Like I've met people from countries that I genuinely kind of didn't know existed before I came here. And like I've met people from there here. So I think it's pretty diverse in terms of that way. But then even within that diversity, like there's lots of opportunities to connect with people like from your own background. So I'm Jamaican. And then we have like the McMaster Association for Caribbean and West Indian students. So it's like I get to connect with like Jamaican people, Trini people, like Guyanese people, Bahamian people, Bajan people. So you get that Caribbean community. There's also lots of like Black community here. So like I'm in the Black Student Association. We have like a Black Student Success Center. So you get to connect with like other Black students and there's like supports and stuff like that. So I think it's pretty diverse, but then even like within your own identity, you get to connect with people from your own background and stuff like that.
So I think the student body in U of T and by extension in Canada is very diverse. I had the opportunity to build a lot of relationships and friendships with people from ethnic backgrounds that I had no knowledge of, to be honest with you, in particular the Arab culture and Arabs on the whole, Middle Eastern people, and I think that I learned a lot about their culture, their foods, etc. And that's something that I was never exposed to in Trinidad.
I think the student body is very diverse. You will find someone from anywhere in the world in class, especially from the Caribbean. You'll always find a Trini to make friends with in your program or in any university in Canada. And I think this is a very good support system to have.
You would actually think that Trinidad is one of the most diverse places ever, but I think U of T tops it because you can find people from all over the world at University of Toronto. It attracts a lot of international students, and I think connecting with a lot of people in class has been allowed me the opportunity to meet people from diverse backgrounds. So like probably say group projects. That was one way I met most of my friends, my long-term friends as well. I was also part of the West Indian Student Association, and I met a lot of Caribbean people, not only ones who grew up in the Caribbean, but who grew up in Toronto, but like have a Caribbean background.
I joined the McCaws, which is the McMaster Association for Caribbean and West Indian students, and that has exposed me to a lot of students from different Caribbean islands, which I was not exposed to in Trinidad. So that was really good and refreshing to have some Caribbean people in my friend group.
How cold it really was.
One thing I wish I knew was how much I would have to change my accent for people to be able to understand me. Is like when I speak now, it's like very formal English, and so it would be considered very formal English if it was back home, and it's just become part of my normal speech here now.
How to cook.
Make sure and do your research on the places that you're gonna stay in. So in terms of like apartments, sometimes the pictures online don't really represent what's actually in person. So you definitely want to research there as well. In terms of the area as well, you want to make sure that there's transportation. If it's something that sometimes you might have your own vehicle, so you want to be able to, get around the place.
So before coming to Canada, before coming to university, I guess would perhaps be making sure I can manage time. Because when you first come to university, you're going to have Frosh Week and everybody's going to be so social, they're going to get caught up in it. And then 2 weeks in, you're going to be like 4 months behind because you were hanging out and stuff too much. So definitely have fun, but make sure you get your stuff done early.
One thing I didn't know about Canada was the cost of living. I used to hear people talk about it, but I never really expected it to be so expensive.
Here it's like you work and then it's like you go home. Like that's it, right? So I think people here are less community oriented from just what I found. And I kind of wish I knew that before. Not that like you can't find friends here, but just like people here will say they're your friend, but you don't know anything about them. But versus back home, like somebody's your friend, like you know their mommy, you know their daddy, like you know these people. Like it's a closer relationship. So I think that's the biggest thing I wish I knew before, just so I could have a better idea of how to approach like trying to connect with people here.
Oh, well, I think, at least for me, like in U of C, people are pretty competitive and the courses are demanding. So to actually keep up, I definitely had to do a ton of work. So like, for example, I remember in the first year that I was here, I did a course called Calculus, right? And in pure maths, in Form 6, I did Calculus. So I thought it was probably going to be the same thing, but it was way more intense for me. So like, I realized I had to kind of step up my game and put in more work. But it definitely encouraged more growth within me, so yeah.
Personally, I had to become a lot more independent. I had to do things that embarrassingly I wasn't doing up until I came here, like doing my own laundry and stuff like that. Again, like I said, I had to learn how to cook and just take care of myself and do tasks that I wouldn't have to do at home, like pay the electricity bill.
So in terms of professional and personal growth, I think that Canada exposed me to a level of work ethic that I did not have in Trinidad, especially because back home I'm a bit more laid back and relaxed and have no need to be as independent. So I think the work ethic it instilled in me is far greater than I would have had in Trinidad.
Studying in Canada has definitely influenced my professional growth positively. There's so many opportunities here that I didn't know existed until I came here. And it's definitely opened my eye to the world of jobs and even careers I could possibly even have.
One thing I really struggled with in Trinidad was
actually, communicating with people, like speaking and socializing and stuff, because that was a really, like, I'm a deep introvert. I like to stay to myself and stuff, but one thing you learn when you are here is that you can't be an introvert. You actually need people around you to motivate you, to help you, because, school is hard, living in a whole new place is hard, and it's really good to keep people close to you so you don't feel lonely and stuff. So like coming here and being forced to do that was a really good thing for me. It helped me, talk to people more, because that was a struggle. It helped me actually make connections both personally and professionally that will benefit me in my life in the future and stuff.
I think it has made me definitely more independent. I know how to cook now on my own and manage my time. Time management is also something that I learned through university here.
For me, I was very closed off before coming to university. My mindset was very limited. I think the way I used to think before was just going to class, going to lessons, and then coming back home, not really balanced, I guess. And coming to U of T, I was able to become more open-minded and develop this global perspective, I guess, because you're in first world, rather in Trinidad, you're more closed off in your little island,
Favorite thing about Canada is how many things there are to do here that you can't really do in Trinidad, right? You could go on roller coasters, go to bungee jumping, escape rooms, and so on. The least favorite thing is the winter. It is really cold.
For Canada, I think my favorite thing is the diversity, just like all these different people, and like being able to interact with them. That is my favorite. Least favorite, probably, well, the cost of living is pretty high.
Favorite thing about Canada would be the restaurants, because Toronto is known as a foodie place. Like, there aren't really much activities down here besides going to restaurants and eating fancy food. So that's really fun for me. Least favorite thing would be, I mean, it's not extremely bad, but the weather is my least favorite thing. Like, one day it would be really nice. Like right now, it's sunny, it's 8 degrees. Tomorrow it's going to negative 13 degrees. That's a real struggle.
I think my favorite thing about my university is like the co-op program. It definitely gives you experience in like your field of study, which is something good after you graduate, so you would have that work experience there. In terms of least favorite though, I think it's very competitive on the co-op aspect as well as the work aspect as well.
My favorite thing about uni is the campus. It's so beautiful. We have a lot of views and nice buildings, and I also love the people. It's a very strong community. I like being surrounded by intelligent people who are really driven to do well. My least favorite thing would probably be the amount of exams and midterms that we have. We do have midterms throughout the entirety of the semester, so that's something you should know before coming.
My most favorite thing about McMaster, I'd have to say it's the type of campus. So McMaster is more so like a closed campus in terms of, so within like a 10 to 15-minute radius, you come onto the campus, all of that is just the university. Like all the streets associated with it are like just like you're on the campus. Everybody there like goes to the school, works at the school, is at the school for some type of business to do with being at McMaster. Versus some other universities, like for example in downtown Toronto, like U of T, for example, or like TMU, stuff like that. It's more so open. So like there's a building here, a building there, all to do with the campus, but like it's a public street. Like there are people just going about their daily lives. And I think it's kind of better to be in a closed campus for me, because most people who come to McMaster, like they don't commute, so like they live within the Hamilton area, or like they've rented a place within the Hamilton area. So there's lots more fun things you can do on campus. Like there are fun events because everybody's like they're staying at their school, right? So you have to have more fun events. Not everybody's just going back home. So I like that better. And I think that's my favorite thing about McMaster.
At McMaster, we have a lot of resources to de-stress. So the Student Wellness Center and stuff, they have various hikes and wellness clubs that you can go to like de-stress. So I find that really helpful. Like they had pottery painting and stuff.
My favorite thing about Canada has to be the independence that I get from studying abroad and living on by myself. I think that I'm able to build a life for myself and create it in a way that I would be happy with. My least favorite thing about Canada, as you can see, is the weather. It is quite bad sometimes, and it's winter most of the year, most of the months that I'm here in Toronto. So that's my least favorite thing.
extremely difficult. I think, well, finance is really competitive these days, and there are so many really talented people up here. The job market is really, really bad.
As an international student, first coming here is very difficult to get employment here, just because I think employers are very hesitant to hire someone that has no experience in Canada. But once you get a foot into the door and you get your first job, it builds from there, and it grows from there, and it starts to get easier and easier the more you apply. And it goes from opportunities of working. You have to start with a very basic minimum wage job, which is not a job that you don't really expect or you weren't expecting to work. But that's just the foundational level. Then it grows from there, and you can have opportunities working in AI and robotics, and even up to working at your own startup.
I wouldn't say it's easy. It's for sure competitive because there's a lot of international students here who fought really hard to be here, and they have a lot of stuff on their resume already. So even while you're doing work, you have to continuously be trying to build up your CV, build up your resume and stuff like that.
I think it is quite difficult just because you have to apply months in advance in order to get a position. For me, I was looking for internship opportunities for summer 2024 in September. However, most of the firms are telling us that they're already booked up and they already have people in these positions, and they're actually starting to look for summer 2025. So I think it's quite difficult. You have to manage your time and start networking early on, start messaging people on LinkedIn and asking them to coffee chat probably, and this way you're able to network and find out about the company and figure out what jobs you actually want to do and which firms you really have an interest in.
I'd say make sure it's your own decision. Don't come here because you feel like somebody else wants you to, your parents, your friends or something. If it's your own decision, it's worth it.
I think if you have the opportunity, definitely try to consider taking it. It's like an adventure. The Caribbean and your home will always be there waiting for you when you're done. So embrace it if you get the opportunity.
One thing is that I just know that looking at schools and looking at all the videos that you see about all the things they have to offer, it seems like a lot. It seems like, wow, when I go to this school, I'm going to have everything. But it really isn't that easy. At the end of the day, it's really hard to get research positions. It's really hard to get those jobs. So you need to be on top and have the best grades to get them.
I think the most important piece of advice I would give you guys is to do your research. And not only do your research on the internet and stuff, talk to people. You can reach out to any of us. Talk to people who are here right now and try to diversify and determine what's best for you. Don't just go on some kind of predetermined mindset that, oh, I want to be in this place, or Toronto, it's like the city, it's nice and stuff. But talk to people, find out what's best for you, and yeah.
Going out, talking to people, making sure you network. Networking is building relationships. It doesn't have to be specifically in your field. Just go out there, meet people. Again, people here are really friendly, so it's not that hard to talk to them.
I think you should prepare for CAPE well. A lot of my work in engineering has just been an extension of CAPE, physics, chem, and maths, and I think it really did prepare me for the work that I'm doing.
For me, as a student, an international student coming to Toronto, I wanted to be prepared for anything possible. I watched so many YouTube videos trying to understand what I should do, what school's gonna be like, how to prepare for this. But no matter how many videos you watch or how many research or stuff that you do to prepare to come to university, you're not gonna be prepared enough. So what can I say is just embrace the experience, be open to opportunities, and just go with the flow. Yeah, just go with the flow.
I was involved in a lot of clubs and other activities, not just academics. That being said, academics is still very important.
Well, I think, obviously academics is one thing. Then also having some extracurriculars that you're really good at. So instead of having a breadth of many different extracurriculars, having a few that you went really far in, if that's possible. I think that typically makes you stand out a bit more. And then also in the interview process, if there is one, be yourself. I think that, in my experience, that helped a lot. So, yeah.
I think the number one priority that the university looks at is grades. Yes, extracurriculars are important. I had extracurriculars, I had music and swimming, but I definitely think that the first step is to have the grade.
Grades definitely matter and definitely strive for all ones, but you should also, that doesn't always matter for universities in Canada. The main thing is try to be unique. Always find something that would make you stand out against the entire background of everyone else.
Not for a second.
Definitely not. I definitely think it was worth. It's an experience that I think everybody, if they can have, should have personally.
I don't think I regret my decision. I think that university life here, it was not what I expected. I feel like we see a lot of people online on TikTok and stuff, and they show their college experience, and the reality is that if you come to a school like U of T, you aren't going to get to go out all the time. You aren't going to be able to spend your weekends relaxing, but that's a sacrifice that you have to make. So even though it isn't exactly what I envisioned it to be, I think it'll be worth it in the future.
I feel like part of me does regret it. As I mentioned before, I did not expect the workload to be this tremendous, but having Trini friends and Caribbean students around campus does help. It helps it and makes it easier to study, to communicate, to just exist in Canada. And yeah, it's 50-50.
Honestly, looking back, I don't regret my decision, but there's been times where I have regretted my decision in the middle of midterm week or during a lecture where you don't know what is going on the board. But from where I am right now, 4 years in, I don't regret it because I've grown so much and I've seen so much opportunities.
It's not something I would regret, but it's actually something that I'm thankful for having this opportunity to come here and stuff, because not a lot of people have it, and I'm extremely grateful.
I don't think I regretted my decision at all. It was definitely an experience, like a unique experience, and I really enjoyed it so far, and everything is pretty much going good for me so far, so I don't have anything to complain or have regrets about.
No, I don't regret my decision at all.
No.
If you ask Chrissy and me if I regretted my decision, I probably would have said yes, just because of the environment that I was in. And then first year was just overwhelming as an international student coming to an unknown environment. However, I think second year me is loving the experience. She's embracing just change. She is going and trying new different things while balancing her education and social life. So I think I don't regret my decision.
Okay, no, for me, I don't regret my decision. I really love it here at McMaster, and I love it. I love studying in Canada.
I do not regret my decision at all. I feel like it's a good foundation to build your career off of, and you can pivot into different directions. It's a good, starting ground.
Be adaptable.
Just good luck to anybody applying, and I hope you get through.
Good luck!
Good luck, guys. Good luck. You got this. Chase your dreams.
So my advice, particularly geared towards Canada and university life here, would be to not let yesterday define today.
If I had to give one word of advice, honestly, it's just not that deep. I think when I started out university, started out undergrad, I was like, oh, just this and that, and like you're planning out your life, being like 50 steps ahead, and like, yeah, it's good to plan and like organize and all that stuff, but like your life doesn't have to be that linear, so just leave room for things to change, and yeah, just have fun. It's honestly never ever that deep.
Probably from back home and thinking about coming to a different country to study might seem a bit intimidating. I think if you're considering it, definitely, take it. It's a unique opportunity, once in a lifetime. And yeah, just get prepared to step out of your comfort zone.
Be careful on the TTC. Learn how to fight before you come here. Yeah.
Be open to university not being what you expect it to be.
I think you should always prioritize your sleep, no matter how much work you have. And I think good sleep will get you a long way in life.
Just be open to change and make the most of your experience.
I feel like a lot of people say that university is a very stressful time in your life, and it is. It's a lot of hard work. But my advice, don't stress too much, because then you'll burn out. So, yeah. Are you gonna have bloopers?
Yeah.
Are you gonna have bloopers?
Yes. Yes, I am.
Oh God, the sun coming back. It's in my eye again.
Good morning, good night, Tansy. Can I have a double with slight? I kidding.
No, sometimes as we talking, I be like, why I saying this for?
So you know what I have to say? Let me tell you what I have to say.
I want to think real hard about this. I know what I want to say, I just figuring out how to phrase it.
Okay. Alright, I have it. We have it. Alright.
This is a surprise question, Hima.
Oh my god. That is a lot of pressure.
It's hard.
I don't have anything against my university.
I need to spice it up. A little shadow Benny.
Cut. Take two. Slam the thing. Okay.
Cut.
Yeah, cut that out.
Sorry, cut. What was the question again?
Scrap that. Cut. What was the question?
Oh yeah. Ask him back soon.
Hello. Okay.
Go and run through the bush and like frighten them.
Oh my god, I'm crying, guys. I'm so cold.
Oh, that's an even you are. You can just not put me for that question.
You want to take that one over? Sure.
Ah, then you just delete them. You're delete. I'm not even gonna watch the video.
Yeah, move now, Miriam.
Hold on. Hold on.
Okay. Okay. This is gonna take so long. Okay.
You're Hima, sorry.
So the funniest thing is that I'm not even in Canada right now.